Breaking news. Nigeria changes Mazi Nnamd Kanu's no case submission judgment date. Happening now in Abuja. Here the news in details. Wonderful people of Biafra, lovers of freedom all over the world, you are welcome once again to Biafra Unite channel /television this very moment. Today's date is 22nd of September 2025, and I have a very important information for every one of you listening to my voice right now from wherever you are all over the world. Dear friends and lovers of freedom, I want you to pay very good attention to this very news because it's very, very important. I can assure you, my people, it don't happen. This very breaking news is on my Abua. We don't know if we are supposed to be happy or we are supposed to be angry. I want you to pay attention to the very end of this very broadcast because I have something to tell us. Ever since I received this very breaking news, I have been contemplating. I have been calculating. Munuchem no na agagari, calculate a lot of things. And now I decided to make this very broadcast because it's very, very important. We are going to discuss. Now, pay attention. This very afternoon, Barrister Aloy Ejimako, Special Counsel to Mazi Nnamd Kanu, made a breaking news tweet. He said, breaking, the scheduled ruling on Mazi Nnamd Kanu's no case submission has been abridged from 10th October, which is supposed to be next month, to 2025, to Friday, 26th September 2025. And today is 22nd, Monday, 22nd of September 2025. So this 26th is going to be this weekend on Friday. That is the day that Judge Omotosho will sit and decide. Remember that Mazi Nnamd Kanu had already submitted no case submission. This no case submission means that Mazi Nnamd Kanu did not in any way commit any crime, commit any offense known to law. That Mazi Nnamd Kanu has no, case with Nigeria government. In fact, he's not even supposed to be in the zoo in the first instance. He's not supposed to be in the zoo, not to talk of standing trial. Are you paying attention? So this is no case submission. And after the zoo representatives did all the abracadabra, all their shenanigan for the past 5 years, when they finally presented their sham eyewitnesses, after everything, Mazi Nnamd Kanu told them, I do not have any case with Nigeria. Judge Omotosho told Mazi Nnamd Kanu and his legal team to make it official that they must submit a no case submission file to the court, which they did. Now, the final schedule was supposed to be on the 10th of October next month. All of a sudden today, boom, the legal counsel of Mazi Nnamd Kanu received a shocking notice that it is no longer going to be on the 10th of October, rather it's going to be on the 26th of September, which is this very coming weekend. Now, before we begin to analyze this, let us first of all see the official letter, that was sent to, of course, Mazi Nnamd Kanu and his legal team. Between Federal Republic of Animal Kingdom Nigeria plaintiff and the Nnamd Kanu defendant to Kanu Agabi. Kanu Agabi is Mazi Nnamd Kanu's lead counsel. This is the letter here, so I don't think I have to go on and on and on to read this. And it's today, dated at Abuja, this 22nd day of September 2025. So this is official, and I'm reading from the official and verified X account of Barrister Aloy Ejimako. You understand me? No doubt. This is official and is breaking news. Now, what is the plan of the Nigerian government and its court? What is the plan of the Nigerian government and its controlled court? The court that is under the armpit of the zoo, presidency, or should I say executive. What is the plan? Recall that a couple of days ago, we reported that Nnamd Kanu was, in the court. Not he himself, but his case was in the court. Because the lawyers, or should I say Nnamd Kanu, has obtained report from the government doctor, DSS doctor, that he be taken to a better hospital. In fact, he even requested to be taken to the general hospital in Abuja, which the Nigerian government and DSS denied him the opportunity to go and take care of himself in the hospital, which is also controlled by Nigerian government. Are you paying attention? Now, as if that is not enough, the zoo government did not only deny Nnamd Kanu the opportunity to go to hospital, they also took his blood. According to the lawyer, they have taken his blood samples more than 50 times. Every time they take his blood sample to South Africa for, verification or examination, whatever. So what is the agenda of the zoo government officials by constantly taking the blood sample of Nnamd Kanu to medical doctors in South Africa? What are they trying to confirm? Remember, each time they take his blood, they never take him to hospital. Each time they take his blood sample, they do not give him any treatment. Had it been that Nnamd Kanu complains of, being sick, they take his blood sample to hospital and then come back and take him to hospital for treatment. That would have been a different case. But they come and take his blood sample, they never giving him any medical treatment. They never taking him to hospital. They never paid attention to his medical, needs. Are you paying attention? So that means there is an agenda by the Nigerian government against Nnamd Kanu. What are they going to confirm in South Africa? What is this thing that they usually go to confirm with his blood sample? Are they confirming to know the level of damages whatever poison they have given to Nnamd Kanu has done to his body? We have had the report countless of times of the depletion of the potassium content of his body, yet nothing has happened. The zoo has never deemed it fit to allow Nnamd Kanu to undergo a proper medical treatment. There has never been any news that Nnamd Kanu was taken to hospital. Are you paying attention? So, even there was a time, Barrister Ejimako brought a private doctor of Nnamd Kanu's private family doctor to go and treat him, even in the custody of DSS, which we all know that is not right. He should be taken to the hospital where you have all the equipment. But they brought his private doctor to him, yet the DSS denied the doctor access to go and see Nnamd Kanu or treat him. We reported that very news some years back, and it has never been better till now. So, what is the notion behind the change of the date from 10th of October to now Friday, this coming Friday now, which is going to be 26th of September? What is the notion? Do they think that the time has come that maybe the whatever poison they gave to him has eaten up his body, so it is time now to release him? Or do they want to repeat Abiola's case on Nnamd Kanu because we cannot trust the Fulani. Fulani is in charge of Nigeria, remember, not Tinubu. Tinubu is just handicapped. Tinubu is just a poster boy. They just put him there. Called the Kwaka power rotate to go to Yoruba. But Fulani is in charge. We all know that Fulani is in charge. If Fulani is not in charge, Tinubu would have fought insecurity in the north. Tinubu would have fought Boko Haram. Tinubu would have fought ISWAP. But he can't because Fulani is in charge. And the Fulani is not just in charge. Fulanis are being used by British because Fulanis are power mongers. They want to belong. They know that they do not have any position in Nigeria. They do not have any portion or land in Nigeria. So because they want to belong, and Britain has seen that these are the right people for them to use in order to continue their neo-colonialism in Nigeria, they have to give it to Fulani and stand Giriban with them. Are you paying attention? So, are they trying to repeat Abiola on Nnamd Kanu? Or do they want to genuinely release Nnamd Kanu on the 26th of this very month of September? Do they really want to genuinely release him so he go and take care of himself? Is James Omotosho trying to do justice? We don't know. Or are they trying to hurriedly do something against Nnamd Kanu? Maybe they have had rumor, or maybe they have feelings that Mazi Simon Ekpa is going to win his appeal in Finland. So we don't know. I'm just assuming. I told you since I got this very news, I have been I have been questioning, myself and the situation, trying to get the best response, the best answer. And I said, I can't wait anymore. Let me come and make this very record. So my people, put your thoughts in the comment section. Anything if anything about this very situation, tinye in a comment section while we wait till that very Friday to see the outcome of this very case. Thank you, my people. And make it go viral. I am innocent. I have no case to answer. Mazi Nnamd Kanu tells Justice James Omotosho at the Federal High Court in Abuja. Hear the news in details. Wonderful people of Biafra, lovers of freedom all over the world, you are welcome once again to Biafra Unite channel / television this very moment. Today's date is 28th of June 2025, and I have a very important information for every one of you listening to my voice right now from wherever you are all over the world. Biafrans and lovers of freedom, I want you to pay very good attention to this very news because it's very, very important. I can assure you, my people. Mazi Nnamd Kanu, the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, has told Justice James Omotosho at the Federal High Court in Abuja, including the Zoological Republic of Animal Kingdom Nigerian government and the public, that he is innocent. He has equally declared himself innocent and said that he has no any single case to answer, irrespective of the allegations of terrorism and treasonable felony leveled against him by the federal government of the Zoological Republic of Animal Kingdom Nigeria. Mazi Nnamd Kanu has denied them all. Now, let us read this very news in details. As you can see on your screen, I will be reading from the Vanguard news platform of the Zoo Nigeria. And according to that title, they said, alleged terrorism. I have no case to answer, Kanu tells court. Abuja. The detained leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Ipob, Mazi Nnamd Kanu, Nkafaneti proscribed today. Vanguard or the Cafecha Aligo. Let's take that again. The detained leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Ipob, Mazi Nnamd Kanu, who is facing a 7-count terrorism and treasonable felony charge, yesterday told the Federal High Court sitting in Abuja that he has no case to answer. Kanu took the position shortly after the federal government, which is prosecuting him, announced its decision to close its case. Federal government wrapped up its case after the fifth prosecution witness, PW5, concluded his testimony and was discharged by the court. The witness, whose name was shielded, was simply identified as Triple E before he gave his testimony behind a protective screen. Upon the conclusion of his cross-examination by a member of Kanu's legal team, Dr. Onyechi Ikpeazu-San, Federal Government Counsel Chief Agboyega Awomolo-San informed the court that he would no longer produce any witness to testify in the matter. Awomolo-San said, the prosecution team was satisfied that from the avalanche of evidence tendered through the 5 witnesses, the government had effectively established the charge against the defendant. I will therefore, at this juncture, close the case of the prosecution, the senior lawyer added. Okay, now, through the avalanche of evidence, imagine, with all the shame that they have provided, all the shame that these people provided since they have been running up and down on this case, yet they provided nothing but shame against themselves. Even when their so-called witnesses were stammering, all the questions thrown at them were not answered. None of them. The only answer they were giving is, I don't know. From beginning to the end, I don't know. The only thing they know is that Nnamd Kanu is a terrorist. That is the only thing, the only answer they know. Nnamd Kanu made a broadcast. He incited people. That is the only thing they know. He's a terrorist. That's all. No evidence whatsoever. They even went ahead to bring evidence from Vanguard publication, that one Onyami said, Nnamd Kanu asked him to go and unalive 2,000 people, and he managed to unalive 30. That is the evidence from Vanguard. Zoo Media. Mad people everywhere. Very, very useless and shameless idiots. Now, they continued with their madness. Following the announcement, the head of Kanu's defense team, Chief Kanu Agabi-san, notified the court about his client's decision to enter a no-case submission in the matter. A no-case submission is made when a defendant is convinced. Pay attention, this is the explanation of that no-case answer or no-case submission. Now, a no-case submission is made when a defendant is convinced that the totality of evidence that was adduced by the prosecution failed to establish a prima facie case that is capable of warranting the court to compel him to enter his defense to the charge. Should the application succeed, the defendant will be discharged by the court, thus making an end to the trial. Let me calm down. Let me take this again for avoidance of doubt. For avoidance of doubt. It said here, pay attention. Should the application succeed, you remember that same yesterday, the judge, after Nnamd Kanu's lead counsel, Kanu Agabi-san, told the judge that Nnamd Kanu has said he has no case to answer. After that very word was spoken, the judge told the defense counsel to put it on a written note for avoidance of doubt. Makandi say, I am not aware. You understand? So, should the application succeed, the defendant will be discharged by the court, thus making an end to the trial. Of course, we all know that Nnamd Kanu has no case to answer. Oh yes, you can say he formed Eastern Security Network. What is the name? Eastern Security Network. Eastern part, security. When has forming a security network become a crime? When has forming a security outlet or outfit become a crime in the world? Or would the judge, if judge does not end the case, or if the application does not succeed, would Justice James Omotosho, with all due respect, prefer what is happening in Benue State, in some part of Kogi, in Kwara State, in Yobe State, in Zamfara State, in Kaduna State, in Borno State, in Katsina State, and other parts of the northern Nigeria happen here in the east. I'm asking, would James Omotosho, the judge, Justice James Omotosho, would he prefer that what is going on in Benue State today, at least over 200 people were massacred by the Fulani herdsmen terrorists, the fourth deadliest terror group in the world? Would James Omotosho prefer such inhumanity to take place in the eastern part of Nigeria for now? So, of course, nobody's talking about Nnamd Kanu talking about Biafra or saying Biafra must, leave Nigeria, because that has never been a crime in the world. It's his own opinion. That is his own opinion. So if he has a lot of followers and supporters, then let the Nigerian government give him referendum. It is the normal way. You can't force me to be with you. It is within his inalienable right to protect his own people if they give him the mandate. And they gave him the mandate. That's why when he made the call, the youths came out en masse to form the ESN. So it is within his inalienable right to protect himself. Are you paying attention? So you cannot say, you don't have right. No, we cannot fold our arms and see Fulani massacring our people and taking over our land, just as is happening in Benue State. Benue is just our neighbor. Even it's happening here already. In Enugu State, you can see what is happening in Ehamufu. So you can't stop us. You can't stop us from defending ourselves and our land. Oh, yes. So I'm sure that Justice James Omotosho will do the needful. He has to do the needful. Oh yes, he has to do it. Because Nnamd Kanu has no case to answer. In reality, he has no single case to answer. That is the truth. Now, given Kanu's decision, Trial Justice James Omotosho gave his legal team and federal government 14 days each to file written addresses and 2 days to file their reply on point of view. The case was subsequently adjourned till July 18 for adoption of the no-case submission. Earlier in the proceeding, federal government, through the PW5, tendered in evidence a report it said linked the embattled IPOB leader to the unaliving of 186 police officers, as well as the destruction of 164 police stations during the NSAS protests that took place in 2020. You see, this is to show that they have no evidence against Nnamd Kanu. NSAS protest, that the entire zoo youth, participated. The youths of the Zoological Republic of Animal Kingdom participated on that very NSAS protest, including the Northerners. I could remember during that NSAS protest, they chased Buhari. Even in Katsina, in Sokoto, they chased Buhari. They were even throwing stones to his helicopter in Kanu. I think that happened in Kanu State. Oh yes, they chased him. Is that Nnamd Kanu's doing? The answer is no. So NSAS protest was a national, tragedy. A national tragedy. And what made it national tragedy? The only thing that made it a national tragedy was because the Nigerian army and police started shooting live ammunitions, started shooting innocent citizens who were protesting against the brutality of a certain police unit called SAS. You understand? So the entire youth came out and said, we must end it. They started protesting. Along the line, Nigerian army and police started shooting them with live ammunition, unaliving many of them. You are talking about how many people, how many police officers were unalive. You are not even talking about the Lekki massacre. Nobody is talking about the Lekki massacre. Can you imagine that the innocent citizens of Nigeria carrying placards and Nigerian flag, singing Nigerian national anthem, and Nigerian soldiers have the liver, have the guts, have the balls to open fire on an innocent protesters that gathered en masse at Lekki Toll Gate, Lagos State? Nigerian military, Nigerian soldiers have the morale to open fire on an innocent citizens who were carrying Nigerian flag, singing Nigerian national anthem, protesting against the SAS brutality. They opened fire on them, killing hundreds of them, if not thousands. Nobody is talking about it. None of those soldiers have been arrested till today. They are unknown soldiers. None of the policemen have been arrested till today. They are unknown police officers. And here you are, tagging the case on Nnamd Kanu. Is that not a foolishness? Is that not a stupidity? Is that not a stupid movement? Unbelievable. No wonder Nnamd Kanu has told them that he has no case to answer. Now they continued. The witness, who is an operative of the Department of State Services, DSS, told the court that he was part of a team that was deployed to gather intelligence and compile reports on the impact of violence that trailed the protest. He told the court that he got to know Kanu through the media, though they never met in person. He told the court that his mandate was to record all the destructions of public properties and deaths of security operatives that occurred as a result of Kanu's radio broadcast. You see? You see now? He said that his mandate was to record all the destructions of public properties and deaths of security operatives. Oh, death of security operatives. So who has the mandate to record the deaths of innocent citizens of Nigeria that were massacred by the so-called security operatives? Who has the mandate to record it? Because this mandate, as the mandate of recording the destruction of public properties and the death of security operatives was given to a security operative, a DSS officer, that means another security officer, a DSS officer, should equally be given mandate to record the death of innocent citizens of Nigeria that were massacred by the same security operatives that are supposed to protect them during the protest. So we want to see who has the mandate to record the massacre of innocent citizens. Oh yes, we need it, because you cannot sideline that. They were human beings. They were human beings, and they were citizens of Nigeria. So you cannot, sweep it under the carpet, and here you are talking about security operatives. Who even massacre security operatives? Who can massacre security operatives? Who? When they have the arms, they have ammunition. Mad people everywhere. Among the items he tendered, which were admitted in evidence by the court, included a damage assessment report, death certificate of some security officers, as well as a certificate of compliance. Kanu's lawyer challenged the admissibility of the exhibit, saying he would adduce his reaction in the defendant's final written address. It will be recalled that Kanu was arrested on October 14, 2015. That was arrest. Yes, I know. Upon his return to the country from the United Kingdom. That was arrest. Now let us see if they talk about his kidnap as well. Following his arraignment in court on April 25, 2017, granted him bail on health grounds after he had spent about 18 months in detention. Upon the perfection of the bail conditions, he was on April 28, 2017 released from the Kuje prison. However, midway into the trial, the Ipob leader escaped from the country after soldiers invaded his country home at Afaruku Ibeku in Umuahia, Abia State, an operation that led to the death of some of his followers. Oh, Vanguard. Okay. No matter the hatred you have on the Igbo people, no matter how you hate Nnamd Kanu, it is good to speak the truth, no matter how bitter that truth could be. It is true to say it. So Vanguard, you have stated it. It is very clear. Since they know how to bring Vanguard publication as an evidence against Nnamd Kanu, where they say one Ozoma said that Nnamd Kanu told him to unalive 2,000 people, and he managed to unalive 30 people. They brought it as an evidence. They should also take this one. I'm telling the prosecution, because we know the truth already. Nnamd Kanu knows the truth. The defense counsel knows the truth. The judge knows the truth. So the prosecution counsel, the prosecution team that knows how to bring Vanguard publication as an evidence should also take this one. That Vanguard has published that many of his followers were massacred. And Vanguard also said his country home in Afaruku Ibeku was, invaded by the soldiers. So they must understand this. This is the truth now. We are talking the truth. Now, Kanu was later rearrested. No, not rearrested, kidnapped. That was never arrest. There was no any evidence of arrest because he did not undergo any extradition, hearing or proceedings in Kenya. There was nothing like that. So it was a pure kidnap. In Kenya, on June 19, 2021, an extraordinarily renditioned back to the country by security agents on June 27, 2021. Oh, extraordinarily renditioned. It's no longer extra. Eziokwu na ha pụta ife. Eziokwu na ha pụta ife. This is the very first time Vanguard is using the right word, even though they said he rearrested because they cannot say kidnapped, because it's a shame for a national newspaper to say that its own government, committed an act of kidnap. So it's a big shame. It's an embarrassment, right? So I understand, but at least they have said he was extraordinarily renditioned, which is an international crime. So Nigeria has to answer these things. You understand? So now, we also remember that yesterday, 19th of June, was complete 4 years. Nnamd Kanu was kidnapped and beaten to stupor in Kenya, in Nairobi, Kenya. And we are waiting for 27th of this very month to celebrate. These days have become, I don't know, I'm going to look for a word to use, to qualify the significance of these very days in our lifetime. Owing to the development, the trial court on June 29, 2021 remanded him in custody of DSS, where he has remained to date, which is also another crime of his own. On April 8, 2022, the court struck out 8 out of 15 count charges that federal government preferred against him on the premise that they lack substance. Likewise, the Abuja Division of the Court of Appeal on October 13, 2022 ordered Kanu's immediate release from detention, even as it quashed the charge against him. Dissatisfied with the decision, federal government led by Fulani oligarchy, remember that, took the matter before the Supreme Court, even as it persuaded the appellate court to suspend the execution of the judgment pending the determination of its appeal. Meanwhile, deciding the appeal, the Supreme Court on December 15, 2023 vacated the judgment of the appellate court and gave federal government the nod to try the IPOB leader on the subsisting 7-count charge. You see, that is where the problem is today, because of injustice and the neglect or disobedience of court rules and orders. That's why the zoo is shaking and quaking today. So my people, Nnamd Kanu has made it known to the judge and to the entire world that he is innocent and has no case to answer. So we are waiting on the 18th day of July, 18th day of July 2025, the day that we are going to see what Justice James Omotosho will do on this very matter. If Nnamd Kanu will be released, discharged and acquitted on that very day, we shall see. If Justice James Omotosho does anything contrary to that, then we begin to talk. We begin to have conversations. From then, should we begin to have conversations. But for now, let us see how it all going to happen. Thank you, my people. To salu numozia and make it go viral.